Copycat Marketing, Chapter 4, Leveraged Growth, Working Smarter, Not Harder. In August of 1888, at Atlanta, druggist by the name of Asa Candler paid $2,300 in cash for the exclusive rights to a carbonated fountain drink called Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was an immediate success in the Atlanta area, and by the turn of the century, virtually every drug store in the South featured a soda fountain where a customer could sit down and sip a cold Coke for 5 cents. Then, Candler made a monumental decision that would transform Coca-Cola from a small regional company into an international household name. Candler decided his company could make more money with less time and effort by introducing a unique form of leverage. Bottling, the secret to Coke's international success. There's a fascinating story behind Candler's decision to bottle Coke. Legend has it that a good friend burst into Candler's office one day and proclaimed that for a hefty fee he would let Candler in on the secret for vastly expanding Coca-Cola's profits. The two men hiccupped back and forth for a good part of the day until Candler's curiosity eventually got the best of him and he wrote his friend a check. The friend graciously accepted the check and then leaned forward and whispered in Candler's ear two simple words that launched a global dynasty: bottle it. Fortunately, Candler had the vision to take his friend's advice, and the rest, as they say, is history. Leveraging time and location, bottle it. Just think for a moment about the power of these words. Before Coke came in bottles, you had to go to the local soda fountain to order a Coke, or you had to go without. Before bottling, Coke sales could only grow as the number of soda fountains grew. Bottling changed all that. The customer didn't have to go to the soda fountain to enjoy a Coke because, in effect, when a consumer bought a 6-pack of Coke, the consumer bought the soda fountain home with him. As a result, today virtually anyone in the world can enjoy a refreshing drink of Coca-Cola in the convenience of their home any time of the day or night. All because the Coca-Cola company had the wisdom to leverage time, effort, and location by bottling their product. What is leverage? The root word of leverage, lever, comes from an old French word meaning to make lighter, which is an apt description of the power of leverage. By wisely using certain levers or tools, difficult tasks can be performed in a lot less time with a lot less effort, thus making them lighter. Consider the effort it would take to replace an engine in a car without taking advantage of leverage. How many strong men do you think it would take to lift an engine of your car? 5, 10, more, or maybe more than that. Now, think about how your local car mechanic could perform the same task in a fraction of the time with a fraction of the effort. First, he'd position a well-oiled hoist on a sturdy beam above the engine. Next, he would secure the engine with ropes and chains attached to the hoist. Then, he would attach the pull rope to an electric-powered flywheel. With a flick of a switch, the engine could be lifted out of the car in a matter of seconds. That's the power of leverage. It increases productivity by maximizing time, effort, and money. How corporations use leverage. For centuries, enterprising people have been making their jobs lighter, that is, more productive and more profitable, through the concept of leverage. That's really what increased productivity is all about. Working smarter, instead of harder by finding a way to make a lot more money in a lot less time. Hiring employees is the most obvious way business owners leverage their time. Virtually every major company in the world, from Ford Motor Company to Sony, started off with a sole proprietor who leveraged his time and talents through employees. If Henry Ford, for example, had built the Model T by himself, he could have pocketed 100% of the profits. But he knew he'd only be able to build a car or two each year working solo. Ford was smart enough to leverage his time and talents by teaching his employees to copycat his system. By taking advantage of the power of leverage, Ford built thousands of cars each year and became one of the richest men in history. Getting real smart selling real estate. Real estate companies have been taking advantage of the leverage concept for years. But instead of leveraging employees, a realtor leverages a team of independent contractors, better known as real estate agents. Let's look at how a hypothetical real estate professional named Ted uses leverage to make more money in less time. Ted has been selling real estate for 20 years or so. When he first started out, he was lucky to sell one house a month. But over the years, Ted got better at his job. After 5 years in the business, he would sell 50 houses a year on average. But no matter how hard Ted worked, it was impossible for him to sell more than one house a week by himself. After all, he could only show so many houses in a day. He could only go to so many closings in a week. So he decided to open an office. Ted recruited some of his realtor friends to work out of his office. Over the years, he assembled 20 top notch real estate agents. Each of those agents sold 50 houses a year, which meant his office was selling more than 1,000 houses a year. Now just look at what leverage has done for Ted. On his own, Ted could sell only 50 houses. By leveraging the time and talents of other agents, Ted could sell 1,000 houses, which would be impossible if he were still working alone. By using leverage, he is 20 times more productive while working fewer hours. That's what the expression working smarter, not harder is all about. Leveraging through franchising. Franchising took the concept of leverage to an even higher level than a real estate office. Although franchising has been around for years, it wasn't recognized as a legitimate business concept until the early 1950s, when a milkshake appliance salesman named Ray Kroc bought the rights to franchise a fast food restaurant called McDonald's. Ray Kroc didn't even invent franchising, but he sure perfected it. Kroc understood that the key to a successful franchisee was duplication. So he went about setting up a foolproof system that spelled out every detail of a successful franchisee. He even went so far as to spread $3 million to research the secret of consistently perfect French fries. When someone bought a McDonald's franchisee, all they had to do was connect the dots. It was a copycatter's dream come true. Think about this. When you enter a McDonald's, where is the French fry machine? On the left, isn't it? It doesn't make any difference whether the franchisee is in Moscow, Idaho, or Moscow, Russia. The French fry machine is on the left. And you better believe every other detail of the operation is spelled out and in the right place too. Duplication. The key to successful franchising. The concept of franchising works so well because it is so simple, brilliantly simple. It's a classic win-win situation where both the franchisor and the franchisee come out way ahead. Through trial and error, the franchisor develops a duplicatable business model built around a proven product like Domino's Pizza or a needed service like Kinko's copier service. The key to becoming a successful franchisor is to develop a successful system and then record what needs to be done in detail so that the model can be taught to somebody else. If a model is proven and can be copycatted by the average person, then it can be successfully franchised. If, however, the success of the model depends on the talent of a 1 in a million star, then it can't be successfully franchised because the star can't be duplicated. Stars are not duplicatable. The reason the actor Tom Cruise can command $20 million a picture is because he is the essence of a star. In Hollywood terms, he is bankable. When Tom Cruise stars in a movie, it's almost guaranteed the movie will make money, big money. You can't, however, franchise the product Tom Cruise because he is not duplicatable. The average person can't copy what Tom Cruise does and expect the same results. That's why you can't franchise creative endeavors like writing a best selling book or singing a hit song because they depend on the star factor. They are unique and can't be copycatted. Some products and businesses, however, are easily duplicatable. Pizza is the perfect example. The ingredients are plentiful and inexpensive. It only takes a few minutes to turn out a perfect product. And virtually anyone with a high school education or less and a desire to get ahead can learn to copycat the franchisee model for Pizza Hut or Domino's. Let's face it, a franchisee doesn't have to be a rocket scientist, but he does have to be a great copycatter of a proven system. From zero to hero, does the concept of leveraging time and money through duplication work? To answer that question, all you have to do is look at what has happened to franchising over the 50 years. When Ray Kroc started duplicating his operation, most people considered franchising a scam. The United States Congress even tried to outlaw it. Ironically, the perception of franchising has taken a 180-degree turn since the early days. Experts estimate that today, anywhere from 34% to 60% of the goods and services in America are distributed through franchising. And savvy investors all over the world are paying millions of dollars for the right to copycat a proven franchisee. The brilliance behind franchising phenomenal success is the concept of duplication through copycatting. The downside to franchising, however, is the startup cost. Let's face it, very few people have $1 million to plunk down for a McDonald's franchisee. To complicate matters, you must own and operate multiple franchisees to become truly wealthy in a franchisee system. The alternative franchisee, the ultimate copycat system. Suppose they were a franchisee type concept with a very affordable startup cost of $500 or less, and suppose this alternative franchisee took advantage of the most powerful form of leveraged growth known to humans, exponential growth through compounding. What would you have is the ultimate copycat system to create wealth, wouldn't you? Today, there is a way for the average person to copycat the wealth building system of history's richest people. Today, there is a way to get paid 1,000 times for the work you do once instead of getting paid once for the work you do 1,000 times. In the coming pages, you are going to learn more about exponential growth, a proven system for wealth creation that average people like you and I can copycat. And you will learn how the combination of exponential growth, and the franchisee concept can empower you to create more personal wealth in less time than any other income system available today. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon.